guys, and welcome to 5 Minutes in the Word, your daily devotional from Truett Baptist Church. I'm Brother Dennis, and today we're going to begin going through the Gospel Project. We've started the Gospel Project together as a church, and part of that is we're going through the Bible together over the next 3 years. We're going to be looking at the various stories in the Old Testament and the New Testament and how they point us to the Gospel. And the first story we're going to be looking at is the story of Genesis. So our first verse in the Gospel Project is Genesis chapter 1. We're going to be looking today at particularly verse 1. And then over the next several days, we're going to be looking and breaking out the first several chapters of Genesis chapter 1. Let's read Genesis 1 together. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. In that verse, we find some pretty important and pretty dramatic statements there. As we're studying the book of Genesis, one of the things is we want to put the book of Genesis in its proper context. So if we're going to understand the Genesis story, we need to understand who wrote the book of Genesis, who he was writing it to, and why it was written. And so to do that, we look back at history and we find that the book of Genesis more than likely was written by Moses. Now, why was Moses writing the book of Genesis? Well, Moses has just begun to lead the people of Israel out of Egyptian captivity, and he's reintroducing the Jews to the God of their forefathers. And so the book of Genesis really is a beginning of that story that he is sharing with Israel about their history. This is how you began. This is who you are. And so he begins with the most important statement, and it's this: in the beginning, God. And so what is Moses teaching the Jews about God in Genesis 1? Well, there are a couple of things I see here. Number one, they're teaching that God is. God has always been. That's an amazingly important statement. In fact, it is the foundational statement of all that we understand as Christianity. The fact that there is a God, that he created all things, and that God chooses to be known to us by his word. And so in the beginning, what we find is that there was nothing before God. There was nothing, no space, no time, no matter, no anything. And that leads us to a great theological truth, the fact that God created everything that there is. There's a Latin phrase, ex nihilo nihil fit, which means from nothing, nothing comes. And so there's this idea that the Bible is teaching that there was this nothingness, this absence of everything, that only God existed before God spoke the universe into being. And that is an incredibly important theological argument, but it's also an important apologetic argument, because there's this great apologetic that's come out known as the Kalam cosmological argument. And we're not going to get into this in 5 minutes. It's too deep, but I do want to give you the points of this, because this is really what Moses is saying. Moses is making a declaration about God. And it's this: the Kalam argument, which is a great argument, goes like this. It says, everything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist, that's point 2. And point 3, therefore the universe has a cause. And so it seems like simple logic that the universe began, and because it began, something had to cause that beginning. And so because the universe began, then there must be a cause. And then that argument goes on. It says this: if the universe has a cause, then an uncaused personal creator of the universe exists without the universe. The creator is beginningless, he is changeless, he is immaterial, he's timeless, he's spaceless, and he's enormously powerful. And so therefore, the creator exists. And that is the Kalam cosmological argument. And that's the argument that Moses is making to the people of Israel. He's saying in this first verse a whole world of things. He's saying, look, there is a God, and he created everything that exists. That God exists. That is the God of your fathers. The God, not the gods you're worshiping here in Egypt, but the God that your fathers met, the one who said, to me, I am that I am. that God exists. He created all things, and He loves you. So, as a Christian, what do I need to take from that? Well, there's a couple of things. Number one, I need to take that my God is sovereign over all of creation. This is a huge theological principle, the principle of God causing all things. If God did not cause all things, if God is just sort of working around evolution and the universe just sort of happened, then we have a God who is not sovereign. We have a God that does not have power. We basically have a God who is a creation and not creator. And so the Bible teaches us that God is the creator, and as the creator, He is the author, He is the sustainer, He is the perfecter, He is the mover of all things. And so, Christian, as you begin to look at the book of Genesis, remember to put on your lenses. Here's a lens you need to put on when you're looking at the book of Genesis. The first lens is, this is a book written to Jews who did not know their God, and Moses is reintroducing their God to them. It's also the lens of, he is trying to explain why the world is the way that it is, why the universe operates the way that it operates. And so I hope that this has been helpful to you, this little apologetic. Remember the Kalam argument. Everything that exists, everything that begins to exist has a cause. And the universe began to exist. Therefore, the universe has a cause, and that cause is God. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow for 5 Minutes in the Word.